Right,
Got the jerseys.
Yeah, Jesus. So.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're in the mic.
As required by law, the town may audio or video record this meeting. Any person intending to either audio or video record this open session is required to inform the chair. Moving on, calling to order, public announcements. Nobody here to give anything. Clark's Kitchen,
I can give you a rundown on that.
please do.
Alyssa Clark came in to see me. She actually was in our programs as a kid. Yeah, and her family has some roots. If you read the little proposal, I guess her family owns the Perry's Cleaning, the Clark family. Anyway, she had an idea. She has a food truck or a small mobile food vendor. It's a food truck and / karaoke stand. So it's like an entertainment and food combination. I asked her to give me some kind of proposal. She said she'd be happy to come in and talk to you guys. That's kind of why I'm bringing it to you guys, to see if you want her to come in next month. I did tell her that currently Bank Street and Red River are still under contract. I mentioned there's other beaches, Pleasant Road, Earl Road, the ponds. She's interested in that. She's also interested in, Brooks Park, community center fields for big events coming in for that. So obviously I told her the whole RFP process, how it would have to work. And she seemed very excited. She came in with I believe her uncle, who's DeAndre Clark, the general manager. So they both came in. They said, they see a opening for something like this where you could have entertainment and food. I'm not sure that the karaoke portion would work at the beaches. I feel like people would be a little disturbed by that, but if they were to use that part for special events, if they came to nights where we had games going on out back.
Yeah, I was just thinking even like a drop by one day at camp.
Yeah,
that would be so
like that. Yeah.
But those kids love karaoke.
Yeah. So basically, this is just to feel you guys out, and see if you'd like to maybe speak to them. They could give a much better synopsis of what they do than I can. But
My first question is if Bank and Red River are taken and they're coming back, because you know how that history goes.
Yep. So far they are.
Good. It all has to be through RFP.
Yep.
Unless you were to hire them like Leah just said, for a day
event
at the camp.
Yeah.
And if it's an event that's not ours, then we wouldn't have any say in that. That would be Board of Health, I believe. Say there's something going on, the jam, the Pug Fest at Brooks Park, we'll use an example. If they wanted to hire them, they wouldn't come, Clark family wouldn't come through us.
And we'd have to be creative with the RFP and be very specific with the RFP is a better word. If it was just a night where we had a bunch of rec programs going on and they wanted to come, fine, set up and sell food. But if it was a night of Pug Fest or Cranberry Festival or this or that, that would have to be up to the organizers of the event, because they're booking and paying for for it.
So we would have nothing to do with that.
Because some of them have their own food vendors.
Yeah.
So that would all have to be put in the RFP and laid out.
What are we doing in that? That's my confusion. What's the RFP?
Well, I'm saying in the RFP, we'd have to say something like, if one of the items was community center ball fields, you'd have to say for all town events, that's part of their bid. And something saying any outside booked event must get permission from the vendor or organizer. Something like that. We've never done anything like this, so.
Are they looking for a beach spot?
They did mention in here,
Yeah.
they were interested in Pleasant Road Beach, Earl Road Beach, Long Pond, Sand Pond. And then
It's on page 2.
Then they said Harwich Community Center, Brooks Park, and other municipalities. So
they're looking for wherever they can
Yeah.
get.
Eric, I would, if I may, John.
Hold on one sec, Van. I'm just going to
Sure.
go around.
Yeah, go ahead.
You all set, Leah?
I think if there's an opening at one of the beaches, offer it to them if that works with the other.
Yeah, and
People-
I told them
Right,
too,
yeah.
Bank and Red River's taken.
Can I just ask on that?
Yeah.
Red River is Red River Barbecue,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Do we have a schedule with them, like when they're supposed to be open? Because last year it was
Well, that's something I'm gonna address with them.
Okay.
'Cause there is a minimum schedule in the RFP
where they have to be open.
where they have to at least be there. I believe there's something in there about inclement weather though, so if it's
Okay.
a crappy day.
Because
you know.
I feel like a lot of the summer was their thing was parked there, their trailer was parked there, but it
But they
was
weren't
just
open.
never
Yeah, yeah.
open. And
Yeah.
so I'm like,
No,
that's,
that definitely tracks.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's you know what I mean. Either let somebody be there that will be open,
Yep.
or get out of the space kind of situation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was my only thought
And
about it.
yeah,
last,
and I
last
totally, I'm
summer.
gonna talk to them too before this season
Yeah.
about that.
Mhm.
I understand you know the days it's drizzling out or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
no,
Like,
totally.
they're not
But
gonna- they're
there'd
not
be
lose
like
money.
sunny 89-degree day in
And
July,
nobody's there,
and
yeah.
everybody's like looking around and
Yep.
walking, and I'm like, I don't know, you know.
And then I don't think we had that much of an issue with Juju Smoothies, which was at Bank Street.
No.
They seemed to always be open.
Anytime I was at the beach, they were
Yeah.
serving, so it was nice.
And I did explain to this, Alyssa Clark too, that the only other stipulation is we're still under contract with the ice cream vendor that goes around to every beach.
Right. Yep. So
And the only thing conflict with that is they can't sell any ice cream or ice cream related product.
right. But if there's something like lunch
Yeah, it
items,
doesn't
that'd
matter.
be awesome. Yeah. Okay. That would
So-
be my only thing on the food trucks. But yeah.
Van?
Yeah, I would suggest maybe you might want to pass their name off to the league because of the classic.
Yeah,
6
absolutely.
days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're looking for places, we're looking for places up in Dennis with Kelly Field, Yarmouth, and in Harwich.
Yep.
So there are 3 potential spots that they might be able to do something for or with. Just send somebody a letter on
Yep.
it, okay?
David?
Is this multiple vehicles we're talking about?
I believe it's one at the moment. They're just kind of starting out. So that's why I'd like them to come in and talk to you guys themselves.
Okay, also true.
I don't have dimensions and stuff yet.
Right.
I always love a food truck anywhere.
Yeah.
I have enough. so.
Same.
They're always popular and they bring people, so
And I did like
Food
the
truck
idea.
at Brooks Park would be an amazing.
that'd be
thing for the
fantastic.
I
summer.
would
Brooks
love
Park or even
that.
Steer, either one, yeah.
Yep, and I think they do well too, you know.
Okay, you
If
wanna
they hit
start
it
it?
at the right times, and I think
Jimmy?
the entertainment parts, the karaoke,
We'll have our
could be
kids work
something
it.
fun
I
if used at the right times.
might retire.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board? What do they want, how do we want to handle
Like
this?
them at the next meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Sure. Okay,
Did they have samples?
That would
You Come
help.
to the meeting.
they bring in
if-
supper?
Yep.
Okay, the next thing is the community preservation 5-year recreation plan.
This,
I'm not gonna, okay, go ahead, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm confused.
I was just gonna
Same.
say, this came about, Van had mentioned that, and he had inquired, that he thought we did a CPC, it was more CPC related when we spoke about it, CPC 5-year plan, at any point.
Yep.
We looked, me and Elaine were digging through stuff, and the closest we could find is a 5-year proposal, Van had written it back in 2010. I don't know if this is something that we'd like to look into updating.
Yeah, this
Obviously,
is a lot.
It's been 15 years. This isn't just CPC, this is
No.
everything.
Okay.
And we've accomplished quite a bit on this list.
Didn't the
Oh, gosh, yeah, that's why I was confused, I was
Right.
looking at it saying,
Yeah.
done, so we've done a good job over
Yeah, like
15
the
years.
fields out back, Brooks Park, you know.
Bathrooms.
There's a lot of things.
If
did
I
the
may,
town just do a 5-year plan in including the rec as well?
I was actually on that committee. That's the
Right.
open space and recreation plan. So
Okay.
that's a town-wide.
No, I just didn't know if it kind of also crossed over at all in any of these spaces.
It would a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
But this would be more for like us.
Us. Okay,
you know.
perfect.
So,
Van, this is your, proposal or whatever, so.
My vision.
Your vision, thank you.
And that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I think we have accomplished most of the visions.
so this is 2010?
yeah, the date's on the last.
And what I was suggesting to Eric is that we should be moving into the next phase, as either a 2 or 3 year or a 5-year. You know, we've done an awful lot as a commission since we've all been on this committee, this commission. As evidenced by Brooks Park and the fields and the beaches and so on and so forth. I think what we need to do is to develop some strategies in terms of what we think priority items for CPC articles within the next 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and get a sense of what each of us think are important projects that we should begin to look at, support, whatever, and put together a plan, an action plan, so that we can be more aggressive in terms of how we spend CPC money. That money's not always gonna be there, so I think we've gotta be very prudent and very vigilant in terms of what we think are important. For example, a splash pad or something else that we've talked about, the pavilions, and we've talked about a lot of things over the years, the past months, if you will. But I think we need to really develop a systematic plan of action that gives us some direction as we move forward.
So the way I see it is maybe if you did, say, a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan focused on CPC, instead of, not that we wouldn't do this, but every year when we prioritize and we vote, we do our little vote, maybe have a master list.
Yeah, everybody should bring in their projects. Everybody
Or
should
you
sit
could
down.
send me,
Yeah.
you know, and instead of having, you know, just the ones for next year we're talking about, there's the ones for 2 years out, 3 years out, you know, or more.
That, John, that was the action that took place when that report was written. The members sat around and they dialogued about what we're gonna be doing with Brooks. That was our priority. And everybody had an opportunity to bring in their particular project, and it was put on a master sheet. And then from there, we said we would do something year 1, 2, 3. This is what we're looking at in terms of a sequential order, in terms of prioritizing what the most important projects would be for the next 3, 4, 5 years down the road. I think it's a good exercise we should take up for the next grouping, if you will.
Okay.
And we could start out simple, like before next meeting, you guys could send me any ideas you have for projects, and I could put together a list that we could start to review a draft or whatever.
Okay, Leah, any comments?
Nope, I'm just writing ideas.
David?
Yeah, my personal opinion about this particular, where we're going, take CPC out of the mix. Look at what the needs of this
Yeah, it's not
recreation
necessarily-
department is, what we can do to expand whatever your needs are.
It's a 5-year project.
And then
but
if
it's not,
it relates to CPC, plug that in.
Yeah.
But look at the projects that we think that the board thinks are
It's
the
not-
needs of
yeah.
the recreation
Not
department.
only CPC, it's a project in
Right.
general.
And then, again,
Brian?
No comment, I think, well, comment, yeah, I think we should think of a project list to move forward with that.
My only thought is, instead of emailing you, put it on the agenda for February.
Oh, just
And we'll
recommend-
sit here and have a
Yeah,
round
that's fine.
table.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't wanna do it via email. While I'm on the email chat discussion, just remember, do not hit reply to all when you hit an email.
Violates the
Don't.
forum.
Do not.
Oh, okay.
It's a
That's a
violation
meeting.
of
I
open
thought we
meeting
had
law.
to. It's a meeting.
No, the other way.
Okay.
So you'll put that on the agenda for February, please?
Sure.
I copied you.
No, that's right.
If it's 2 of you, it's fine.
It's all good. So that is that. Now, minutes. Who has had a chance? Elaine sent out minutes from November 19th.
And we've had clarification too in the meantime.
Yep.
Just to make sure, we checked with Emily, the town clerk, and you can vote on meeting minutes that you weren't at the meeting for.
That's a head scratcher.
As long as, I'm not sure how that works, but you can, as long as you had a copy to review, you can vote on those minutes.
Okay,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I have a correction on the 19th.
Okay.
Which one are we on?
The first one.
Never
First
be
one.
at another.
The 19th.
hold on.
We are
Mr.
not
Chairman.
here
Go
to
ahead.
discuss the opinion from the town clerk. I received it in an email.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry, I disagree.
I'm not saying I agree or
Absolutely
disagree,
disagree.
David. I just said,
The rule.
doesn't pass the logic, but that's the rule. I don't disagree, I'm not arguing
There's a
with you.
response.
There's
for
the
it.
response. He got it.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I don't know. He didn't, yeah,
Oh, maybe it was just forwarded to me from
could have been.
Elaine.
Yeah.
So these are in order, I'm going through the order that they're on the agenda. So November 19th, 2024, Van.
There is a correction on the first page.
Yep.
It says, Mr. Cacciadorian suggested an additional 20,000 be added to the final total, which is what the commission will be donating. It's not the commission that's
No.
donating, it is the Cape Cod Senior Softball League that will be donating.
Okay.
So take that word commission out of there, okay?
Got it.
Any other comments on the November 19th
Hold on,
as
I
written?
think I had another one. On page 3, Mr. Conroy noted some safety issues they would like to discuss. I'd like to hold that until we go into open, maybe just discuss it openly, what are his concerns about safety. Because I don't know of any, and.
But he did say that, so that should stay in the minutes as far
Yeah,
as I'm
yeah,
concerned.
yeah.
Yep.
We're not gonna he didn't
Yeah.
get into particulars.
Right.
Yeah,
I just want to ask Eric, have you talked to him about any of those safety issues and what are they, so that we have a
Okay.
sense of what they may
but
be?
we'll
Yeah,
get
Yeah,
to
we
that
can do
after.
that later on.
Anything else on the November 19th minutes?
There's another one. on
Page?
Page 4. I don't know if this is appropriate, but the last paragraph, he would like to change John's position from program manager to assistant director. I think I'd like to get an answer as to whether or not any of that has been done. We can talk about that later.
Again, minutes
Yeah.
isn't the place,
Right,
but,
yeah,
and it's
okay.
not on the agenda,
Yeah,
so okay,
okay.
yep.
Other than
Anything
that,
else, Van?
I'd like to make a motion to.
Hold on, David,
So,
Brian?
What's that?
Okay, just wanted to make sure, Van. Go ahead with the motion, please.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the November 19th agenda with the corrections.
second,
Minutes with the corrections.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept with the noted changes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is a vote. So now we'll go to September 24th. Any thoughts on that one, Van?
No, I don't.
Leah?
Nope.
David?
all set.
Motion?
Aye. Motion, sorry.
Second.
Leah and Brian, motion to accept. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Those are approved. August 27th, 2024.
So move.
Van?
Second,
David Nixon for a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is a vote. Director's report.
All right, let's see. So, the senior memorial fencing project, so this one I'll give you a little update on. We had originally, put it out to bid, the low bidder was New Generation Landscaping. They came in with a very low bid. We vetted them, they signed a contract, that we had a walkthrough of the facility. They had their, the measurements were off in the RFP that the administration wrote. So they had 250-foot fences on the side and a 450-foot fence in the back instead of 300. They took, so, anyway, I went to assistant town administrator, asked her where do we go from here. She said, we'll just go to the next lowest bid.
it's just deja vu.
When we did the bidders. So we went to the next lowest bid, we contacted them. They understood it the way we understood it, 300, and 450 in the back. This is Reliable Fencing in Yarmouth, local company. So we did a walkthrough with them, they're all set to go. But New Generation Landscaping is saying that they ordered their materials already. There's a happy ending, I think. So they ordered their materials already, and how are they gonna get their money back for that? In the meantime, Megan asked me, and I did some research about that when they ordered their materials, they ordered all the materials before a contract was signed. So, which is very unorthodox. When I met with Reliable Fence, they said they don't do it. They don't get any of the materials until they're ready to go, fully ready to go. So the only thing we're waiting on right now is Megan had town council just contact them, just to smooth it out.
Okay.
Just waiting for the go-ahead for Reliable Fence.
Okay.
Reliable Fence's bid was about 10,000 more, but still about 50,000 under what we have
Okay.
for funding. So that's that
There is
one.
also the safety issue piece.
Well,
of it, too.
yeah, I think that's part of the, and we could kind of segue that. Part of the safety issues that the senior guys had talked about was the one that I can remember is the fencing going higher in right field, so the balls don't come over. I did ask Reliable Fence for an additional side quote on how much it would be to extend that fence, or a netting, any different option they could think of, so I'm just waiting for their quote on that, how much additional it would be. We can only accept add-ons to a bid of 10% of the original bid. Anything over that is not allowed. So we'll see when the quote comes in, how much it'll be. 10% would be about
That's
$5,500.
about $6,000 roughly.
I don't wanna go too far into this, when do you think they're gonna be doing the job? Any idea?
They said they could do it anytime through the winter. They could easily have it done.
My question is,
within a
before
week.
if we were to put this on the agenda for the additional fencing
Oh, I see. what
for
you're saying.
February meeting, is that gonna mess things up?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Then I don't wanna get into that,
Yeah, I'll make sure.
any
that-
additional,
I see what you're
anything,
saying.
yeah.
And that was the safety issue.
especially where you've got another.
Yep. Fence, I'm just want to put it on February.
So right now, we have three things on the agenda. We have CPC, the fence, and what was the very first one? Oh, Clark's Kitchen,
Yep.
okay?
All right. And next
Continue,
thing,
please.
senior softball fields restroom project. We had hired Cape Cod Engineering. They came out, looked at the site for the septic. They've given us now the site plan and the specs. The holdup at the moment, though, is Highway Department looked into the electricity, running the electricity there, and they're saying it could be up to $50,000 to run electricity to that restroom. This would cause the project to go way over the budget we have. Because if, you know, the restroom itself now, it goes up every time I check. 131,000 last check, just for the building.
What about the septic? How much is the septic?
Probably talking about 20,
Really?
More than that,
about 20.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be good. I mean, 20.
And you're already up to 150. We spent about 2,500 or so, or 2,300 on the engineering company to do the site plan.
So you're close to the 170.
Yeah, I mean, water hookups
Right.
through the water department, all that stuff. You know, the electric will put us way over the top. In the meantime, me and Van had a discussion. Van actually came up with an idea. I don't know if it's feasible. I haven't talked to Highway yet. We were just actually researching it in my office right before the meeting. It's called 4 Patriots generators. It's a cheap generator that can be attached to a building or put in a building, powered by solar panels that come free with the generator. That could power the bathroom for what we need. But that's up to me talking to Highway, seeing if it's even feasible of a project. I actually printed out.
It's more will they pass code,
What's that? Yeah, that too.
more than highway.
This is what they look like. You can pass it around. That's the best picture I could get in 5 minutes before the meeting.
No. Doesn't hurt to ask.
And they look like they're around $3,000.
Yeah, guys, I have one.
Don't know until you ask the question.
Yep.
Are you gonna call them, Eric?
Yep.
The
I can call
company
them.
and find-
I think, and
Before
I'll
you
talk to
call them-
Highway.
Talk to highway.
Get some specifics in terms of whether or not it's doable.
How would you secure that?
Can mount it to the
You can
wall
mount it
in
to
You
the
can mount to the wall.
the
you
hot
can put
water,
it
in the utility room, maybe?
Put it in the utility room and
And
just
the
leave it.
panels to be on the roof.
All right.
Panels would be on the roof.
The panels
I
are
don't think
free.
it's gonna pass code, but that's just my own opinion.
Yeah. Give it an ask.
Hey,
You don't know it until you ask.
yeah, absolutely.
Anything to save 30 or 50 grand on running a cable in the ground. That's a long extension cord.
It has, you know, if I may, John, as a follow-up to.
Still on this topic?
Yeah. You know, in terms of the electricity, Eric, was any thought given to, excuse me, any thought given to the shed where the pump is, the pump station?
Yeah.
There's a lot of electricity out there. I mean, it's a shorter run, I think.
I can
to
check
going-
on it.
To go from the pump station around the fence and across to, rather than bring it all the way down the road, you know, where the electrical wiring is up there,
You're talking about trenching it?
yeah.
I'll
Instead
ask-
of trenching.
When I
That's what
talk
the
to
other
Highway,
one was
I'll
too.
ask them, you know.
They're both trenched.
Yeah.
The one coming from the other is underground as well.
Yeah, they both.
This will be go right around the fence, outside of the fence.
Okay. I'll ask them.
Again, doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay.
We might be able to save some money that way, if that's possible.
Continue,
Going?
please, or no, unless everybody has this, do they have questions? I guess would be my first, are there any questions for Eric on the director's report?
Yeah,
Any
everything else
additions
is-
to it?
yeah,
It's all the same?
Yep.
Lee, or any questions, comments?
Sorry, I'm just reading
Nope.
this 204 piece. So I guess I do have a question for the circus merchants. The
Oh, yeah.
204 is not available.
Yep.
I would highly doubt that the school would say
Well,
yes.
we did talk to, Angie talked to Rick Travers
Okay.
over there, who's the facilities manager for the Montgomery district. She went directly from our meeting, it was me, Angie, and Joe, and Kara. She went directly from there to his office, and she emailed me and said, oh, you know, there's hope, he didn't shoot it down. Joe, in the meantime, asked me to send an email to Rick, to see if it would even be an option. Not sure where I come into that, but I did it anyway. And Rick did write me back. He said it's definitely a strong
Oh,
possibility.
good.
He was gonna talk with Scott Carpenter, the superintendent, and get back to us on that. It's more get back to Angie.
How long did it take for this, how long until this field was back up in?
Until they came out and fixed it.
I wouldn't consider it back to the, it's not
Yeah,
not
it's
back
still
at the
not, like,
quality.
perfect,
No,
but
it's,
yeah.
I wouldn't deem it usable.
But it was a month or two before they came out.
Because
and
they
fixed
have,
it.
I'm just thinking July, August starts preseason for football, field
Yep.
hockey,
This
soccer.
is July, the circus this year is beginning of July, I believe, July 10th or something.
So they
like that.
start, the earliest, football starts their early preseason the second week of August. And then
Yep.
all the soccer, field hockey, they start the third week of August.
Yeah.
And they rotate between the turf and that front field. That's my only,
Well, that's what the school, you know, if they
That would
do
be my
say,
only
go,
thought for them.
you know, go for it, my recommendation to them would be like, well, make sure you have something in the contract that
Well, let's be clear, even though you were asked to get a hold of
I have
the
nothing to do
school,
with it.
yeah, you read
this
out of
department,
it,
this
yeah.
commission has zero to do with
Yep,
it,
yep.
not a thing.
You know, at the,
Just want that to be.
John,
Yeah,
at the
that's
facilities
true.
committee, prior to all of this, Angela did make a comment that Circus Smirkus would be going down to 204. She was happy as hell. You know, at least we can get everybody back to where they belong and so on. And I talked to him and he said, no,
There's always
they're
a
out of
I
there.
found out the day of the meeting, Kara said she did some research and it's almost all leach field back there. So anything with heavy trucks going on it or large tents, because the tent posts for those large tents go down like 4 feet. That's where a leach field starts.
Yeah.
Joe also mentioned that the option, he said no to the community center. The other option that he had talked about in the past was the area in front of White House to clear on the corner across the street. Yeah, I'm pointing the wrong way. He said that is still something he'd like to pursue, but it's gonna be nowhere near ready.
For July, no.
So,
I have one more question for you.
sure.
Since we're gonna be voting on all projects at the, oh no,
CPC 's
CPC
gonna
is,
be
never mind,
Yes, yeah,
never mind.
okay.
Eric, did we ever, John, if I may, Eric, did we ever get the insurance company? Has that ever been settled about the backfield area?
I'm not sure, it was, the bill was paid, and administration was working on reimbursement from insurance company or companies, and I have not heard since. I know we didn't pay
It
him,
was $11,000.
right around there, yeah.
All set, Dan?
Yeah, thank you.
That's one of my questions. The next thing, I'm confused. Are we talking about using back here again?
No,
No.
The school
the,
field
the
in
wood,
front,
the
across
the lot, the wooded lot across the street.
Okay, so he brought a whole bunch of people. Okay,
But what I asked Rick Travers about is the big field in front of the high school.
I guess I am confused why you're doing that.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
He said he
that's-
wanted me to, and I kinda looked at him, he's like, yeah, just shoot him an email. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
how I-
Good luck.
Not our
Yeah,
was no
cause that's
response
not,
to that?
we
It's
actually
not
don't
our
have any
monkey,
part
not
of
our
the
circus.
Do it as
circus,
I was
yeah.
told.
No pun intended.
there was no response to that, Eric.
From the guy Rick?
Yeah.
No, he wrote back. he said it's definitely a good possibility. He needs to speak to Scott Carpenter, the superintendent, first. And that
Okay,
was
moving on,
last
with
week.
that's
Yeah,
beyond our scope.
yep, that's,
Anything else, questions, comments on the director's report? Keep us up to date on the fence, we'll talk about it.
Yep.
Property maintenance.
the only thing I wanted to highlight on here is, with the new company that will be doing senior memorial fence, I actually, at John's suggestion, sent them a picture too of the dugout fence at Brooks Park of the baseball field, the third base side dugout.
Right,
The front pole is
Right.
bent, I think it's built from when a tree went down.
Right.
I sent them a picture of that and see if they can give me a quote on repairing that, and I'm just waiting on a quote. So, and any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
John?
Yes, Van.
Jog leash signs, are they up?
The what?
Jog leash signs, are
Yes.
they, okay, that's done then?
Yep,
And the, what is it, Crowfield, Potterfield, there was a discussion one time about doing something about those dugouts. Are we still interested in doing anything with that?
I'd be
Yeah.
definitely interested in it,
You were
yeah.
gonna check with,
Do you want me to do that?
I thought that's what I was
Yeah.
looking through my minute.
I didn't take any action, John, because
Okay.
I wasn't quite sure where you wanted to
I
go
thought
with
you were
that.
just gonna reach out to this and see if they're even
seniors.
still doing it.
Yeah.
And how far out they're booked.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
And
can do
they,
that, Van.
I'm gonna see if they can get a community project for the spring of sometime during it. And I'm gonna request that they put some kind of a schematic together to get a
Yeah.
sense
That's
of
what that was in the minutes, actually.
to get a sense of what it would look like. Okay, I will follow that up.
Thank you.
Did we ever get reimbursed for the fencing at White House Field when the bus hit that?
Yeah, we've got.
It's all done,
I
that's
forget how
done.
much it was,
Yeah,
but
but that's
it was a
taken
while
care of.
ago, yeah.
Good.
Anything else on the maintenance report? David?
All set.
Brian?
All set.
Leah, you're all set?
Yes, also.
Okay, moving
Thank
on
you.
to budget report, Eric.
Budget report, the real matter is the final page. The revolving fund balance is currently at $69,666.26. That's the actual balance in the account. While we're on revolving fund, I put in several requests to Joe, to up our revolving fund cap, spending cap this year. It's at 175, but with John's help, we've expanded programs exponentially. So when you have more programs, you can have more spending, also more revenue. The hard part is getting the point across to everybody that when we say we want $250,000, we don't get $250,000 to spend.
Right.
We can only spend what we make. So I reached out to Joe. This was weeks ago. He said he was gonna meet with finance committee about revolving funds and get back to me. Never heard back. I've reached out to him twice since, so I'm still waiting on a reply. It's usually a pretty simple thing in the town meeting warrant. There's an article just for all the revolving funds in town, and it just would be
Please
higher.
make sure that they totally understand that we raised these in the past
Yep,
based on the recommendation of the town accountant and the town
yeah,
administrator.
yep.
We did it 2 years in a row on their recommendation. They came to us and said, we want you to do this.
To raise it, yep.
So we're
Okay,
not just
yeah,
doing
good point.
this.
I'll send,
It
yeah,
was
my next.
Dave,
Spitz.
no,
No, Dave Ryan.
Dave Ryan and Jim Murray.
Yep, okay.
So they need to know that.
Because I'm about due for another reminder email to Joe.
Okay.
So I can stick that in there.
No, I thought that, I heard last night, watching the channel, the meeting, that the February 10th, that they're meeting with the finance committee.
February, they may be.
That's
There
on
was
the
a
draft
prior
budget.
finance committee meeting. Yeah.
There's another one coming up with department heads or,
That was my update on the department head meeting, that they're gonna schedule the budget,
right.
roundtable.
And they made it very clear that they're not gonna be looking at anything over 2.5, and also no new staff.
Yeah,
So my
that-
question is to
well-
you that I wanna ask,
Yeah.
what are we doing about his,
Well, we're kind of talking about budget. Want me to give you a quick?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not much to
I-
report.
Yeah,
So as of now, so I'm waiting here on EOS possibilities. Administration's aware of the things that we are looking for. They didn't want all the backup information yet, including John. John's reclassification, lifeguard pay, or seasonal pay, at additional staff, and then there's some small things for office supplies and
Are you putting in for an additional, one
That's what
full?
we'd like.
One full?
One full.
Good.
The word is that no EOSs are gonna get passed.
Eric,
Yep.
EOS.
Oh, I'm sorry, enhancement of service.
Okay.
That's,
For
I
those
mean,
that
that's
didn't
an
know.
Enhancement of
extra bu-
service, yeah.
So they had asked us to come to them with a budget with just contractual increases and
Right.
anything they tell us for gas, electricity, which we did. And the last message I got was that even those bare bones budgets is more than the Board of Selectmen wanna spend. But, you know, all you can do is ask, like we said many times, so we're gonna keep asking until we get something.
Keep on
I thought
going.
I heard last night that there will be no Saturday meeting.
Oh, really? I don't know. The last
what
they
I
told
thought,
us
that
was
they
they
were
were.
You know what?
They're trying to, they may not do a Saturday
Yeah, right.
roundtable like they
right.
did. They're gonna try to squeeze it into the,
And the problem right now with the enhancement of service request is they said, sure, you can have enhancement of services, but you have to find an offset in the same line item. So if we were to raise lifeguards' pay or
You'd have to
seasonal
cut somewhere
pay,
else.
you'd have to take it from seasonal,
Yeah.
which makes no sense.
None
Well, we-
whatsoever.
We do have an alternative in place to help, offset some of the costs as regarding,
Yep, and that's.
like day pass
Plan B
rate. Day
kind of
pass
thing.
rate would be
Oh, yeah, yep,
one. I mean, we certainly don't want to have to close a beach
nope,
to offset higher lifeguard costs. But one thing, my kind of 2 cents on a particular topic is some of the things they're called enhancement of services. Some of the things we're putting in for are just what we need to continue the services that we already provide with, higher cost of goods across the board,
Taking from one pot and putting in another pot.
including labor.
okay, but why isn't that coming out of revolving fund?
what's that?
If things cost more, that's what John
Oh,
just
well,
said.
it's more, it's not so much things cost more, but it's more, we need more people. That's,
Well, the lifeguard rates specifically that's
Oh,
seasonal pay
yeah.
rate. That's not revolving fund.
yeah.
So that's like
I thought you were talking,
strictly that.
the way you said that, I thought you were talking that it costs more to
Soccer
get
balls or
basketballs
something,
or
Right.
whatnot, all of which
Right,
should be
yeah.
coming out of revolving.
Yes, that does.
Yeah.
Sorry, misunderstood.
So that's where it stands now, and it's doesn't look good for EOSs, or I keep saying EOS, enhancement of services.
Now that we know what it is.
Yeah.
They seem to really wanna keep spending now. So,
How does that look to affect summer staff as far as camp and just
Well,
lifeguards in general, not
the
even
way
with
it
the
would
raise of
affect
pay?
is who we, we're gonna soon be putting out our invites back to
Right.
staff, is we'll get a good idea of it once, if we don't get any raises for them,
Right,
we may get less people.
that's what I'm wondering.
And if we get less people, you may have to close the beach, meaning not staff the
staff,
beach,
yeah.
which has happened all over the Cape.
Yeah,
We've been lucky,
but then that's less revenue.
less
Coming
revenue. Yep. I mean, it depends on what you close. You close Bank Street, you're not losing daily pass revenue, but you really have, that's a safety
Why would you have to
issue.
close it?
Not closed,
Not
they
closed, but
staff
not
it.
staffed.
If
We
you're
just
short
said
on
no
staff,
guard on
'cause-
duty.
Yeah, and nobody there collecting.
Because
the money.
the salary isn't the same, wages are too low than what they can get in Dennis.
But then,
So if Eric loses 5 lifeguards because they're getting more money in Dennis or Chatham,
I have 3 neighbors that worked in Chatham last year. 'cause of
yeah,
that.
yep, so we won't know until they start flowing in.
you gotta make
But
the
it
bet.
is, it is what it is. You
Yeah.
get who you get, you can't.
There's still parking there.
Oh, yeah. We're not closing the beach like barricading.
There's nothing closing.
It just means not unstaffed.
No, you're missing the
Unstaffed.
point.
Oh.
There's still parking. Charge a fee for the parking.
Nobody
That's
would,
what we do.
Yeah.
Where?
Main Street.
Bank Street, that's sticker
Well,
only.
that's sticker
Yeah.
parking only anyway.
There's no attendant there. So there'd be no lifeguards.
That
is
one's
what
too
he's
small.
saying.
You'd have an uproar if you started selling day passes there. It's not big enough of a.
We on the
lot.
same page?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. I just didn't want you to think, yeah, it's lifeguards he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Lifeguard,
it's-
everybody really, because you
Yeah, but it
can't raise the lifeguard and then make them pay the same as one of their supervisors. So everybody kind of
Has to
bump
bump
a
up,
little.
right.
Yeah.
Eric, did we,
Close.
we discussed when I was chair, the possibility of an alternative if you can't get a full-time bump Phyllis up to a full-time position by adding some hours.
Yep, that's
Is that another alternative you might wanna bring forth if they say, well, you're not getting any new people, but, can you do this and bump her up to the regular, 19
That's gonna be
plus
the
hours?
hardest one to get
Yeah.
of all the categories of enhancement of services, is additional people.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep trying.
I would go in with two, I would go in with an alternative deal in my pocket
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
okay, you're not gonna give us a full time, how about bumping her up a few hours more?
And my thought is they're gonna say no to both, but,
Hey, it's worth a try,
Yeah, yep. Not to be negative.
Fight for what you can.
No, and then you just do more revolving if you have to.
Do it, fight for
Yeah,
what
and
you
then
have
that,
to
then
fight
you
for.
gotta raise the cap, yeah.
mean-
It goes plays to that argument at least.
I mean, we have options, other departments don't, when you think about that.
Yeah, true, yep.
Okay? Chairman's report, nothing. Facility, David, CPC, please.
Now, the 13th, we're gonna vote, possibly, we're gonna vote. Are you thinking about showing up to the CPC meeting?
I was
I
gonna
don't know,
ask you that
before we talk
question.
about that, can you fill us in on what happened at the last CPC meeting, please?
There's large discussion over the, sales of the back project. Members of the board wanna interject, and they'd rather finance a pad to go down, to be put out there. They'd actually rather finance the structure than the sales. There
You're
was
talking
a
about the pavilion,
Yeah, there was a large argument about it. So I don't know
No, I
what they
know.
truly wanna do. I've invited the chairman and the rec director to the meeting on the 13th. And we usually cut off discussion about any articles or projects once we start discussing the voting. But in the very beginning of the meeting, there's a little catch in that area that says it's open discussion. So the general public can come in and say anything they want. And that includes department directors, chairpersons of any committees, or the general public, taxpayers in general. So you get I'm sure you're aware of what the situation is.
Yep.
What some of the suggestions would be to them, but there won't be any correspondence back and forth. You have the ability to make a statement, make a series of statements, however you wanna put it.
Sure.
The board does not respond to it.
So I was confused. We were scheduled to come into a meeting. That meeting had to be canceled because of the issues
Right.
with the website and all that. The last thing I got from Jan is that you guys would potentially vote on the 13th. Send me any information that you have. So I sent her information
Right.
on the cost of a concrete pad. I talked to some other towns that have sales, the sales structure. So I sent her that stuff. So we should attend then,
I would.
to kind of just state that. And
Yes.
they just.
They won't
There'll be no dialogue.
Just-
There won't be any,
Yeah, okay.
there won't be any response. Just for them to take the information, and then if you stick around, the discussion will be among the board members.
And just so the commission knows, like I said, we've asked to have John too about concrete pads, and our plan was just to put, a sales structure up, grass underneath, keep the costs down. I mean, you're still looking at, with contingency, $90,000 we're asking for. But with the concrete pad, from, differing accounts, you're looking anywhere from like 60 to 100,000 probably for a 40 by 40 concrete pad.
And that's just the pad?
Just the
Just
So no
It doesn't include the
4 to
building
5
costs.
inch thick
Right,
pad.
okay.
It'd have to be a thick pad because that.
So you're looking at almost 200 grand
Right.
for the
doubling-
sales
you're
and
doubling
the
the
pad.
price, yeah.
Can I
It's not
ask,
gonna float.
can I
No, it
ask,
shouldn't.
No, that's
Go
why
ahead,
we
yes,
didn't
Leah.
ask for code.
Leah has the floor.
can I ask you a question? What were the problems with the sales? Like what,
I can
I
First
didn't,
of all,
yeah, I didn't see it, so.
I had it at $36,000 for 4 posts. One of the members of the board, the CPC board, has these sales in his
He came in to see
backyard.
me.
In his,
Yep, he
did
came in.
he did.
He came in to see me and he gave me a pamphlet on a company he uses for his. The difference is you're talking municipal project and a
Yes.
backyard project. Very different costs. As far as the
Prevailing wage.
installation,
And quality.
prevailing wage, quality. One of their main questions was durability of the sails. Are they gonna get mildewy? Do we have to
Maybe
repair
they're
them
gonna
all the
blow
time,
away.
replace them? All the other people I've talked to said they're very durable. You
Right.
take them, they're very easy to take down and put up. In the off season, the winter, you take them down, you fold them up nice, you keep them stored in a dry place,
Yep.
and they'll last forever.
So I'm wondering, is it just a confusion issue? Like maybe they
Well, I
don't
sent them all
understand
that
exactly
info.
what it
So they all
is.
have that info.
Now they do,
Yeah, I
okay.
just
They
sent
have
them
it
all.
now.
No, right, so that's what I'm wondering.
And
if
that's what I could highlight at
previously-
the meeting.
Okay, because maybe they just didn't understand. Oh, no, I remember what they
Yeah.
are. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe.
Those are the
with
ones they have in
CPC,
Colorado that
I
I
sent them
brought back to
pictures.
They
Eric.
have them
Maybe,
in Florida.
you know.
Yeah.
They use them
Oh, yeah,
all.
I'm sure they
I
do.
don't know.
Mr. Chairman, through you. Eric, what about AstroTurf?
Oh, that's on my CPC next
AstroTurf?
request.
Underneath it.
Underneath it.
Fill the
Well,
box with railroad ties and fill it with whatever base you need and put AstroTurf
it's interesting
on it.
you say that, because I talked to Frank on the phone today, and he was asking me to get quotes on AstroTurf for over at the pickleball courts. And I do see some, I'm gonna look more, but on Amazon, you could even buy AstroTurf in rolls. So you
Buy
think,
right up here at Home Depot, I do all
you
the
think it
time.
just lay it down, or?
Yeah,
Yeah, spike it right into the ground.
See how back you might wanna, there's different ways of doing it. It's gonna be perfectly flat if you're going
Yeah.
to just spike it into the ground. What would a square box, a landscaper to build a square box and put the stone down, whatever they put underneath it, and then install it? But yeah, I think there are other options than $100,000
can
cement
I,
pad.
John, may I,
Got that?
Yeah.
What David's saying? Okay.
what about, this may be bizarre, but what about a huge tent? Like when the Classic takes place, they put a big tent down there in Potterfield, for the merchandise and so on and so forth.
One that comes in and out?
Yeah, they set it up, they set this humongous tent up and they sell all of their products and so on. And they got benches under there for food, for shade and so on and so forth. And they come in, the company comes in, spikes them into the ground and they put them up and they take them home.
So
At
you're
the end-
saying like rent it
Rent it for,
seasonally?
I think it'd be cost prohibitive on.
know,
For the,
I
yeah,
know
for
what
the
you're
whole
talking, they
know
do
what-
them back
Yeah.
here.
It'd be
Yeah.
wild.
If you
I
did
don't
it
know what
spring
the,
through the whole
what the
summer,
cost
fall,
is, but
Oh, gosh.
it's in and out, 6
They buy
days,
12 of
boom, they got it up and,
I'll check rental prices, but I think it'll be, if you're doing spring through the summer, through the fall, or some of the
yeah,
fall,
yeah.
it could get high,
Yeah.
but can't hurt
Maybe
to
you can
look.
negotiate a long-term lease contract with them or something, and see what they have to say about all
Plus
that.
they're ugly as sin.
And the wind, and like, you get one bad storm, you're gonna take it down, who's responsible for coming and taking it down,
Company
putting it
would have
away?
to.
They leave it
They
up
leave
there.
them up unless
Yeah.
it's really
They
nasty.
leave them up, they don't take them down during if we had rainy days, windy days.
I went to
They
a
leave them right up.
wedding in a year ago, September,
Mhm.
and it was outside.
Yeah.
And they had tents all over the place and they left them up, they rolled the dice. And thankfully the hurricane didn't come the way the father of the
Right.
bride was thinking.
Oh my god,
The thing is,
David has his hand up.
the sales structures look nice,
they do.
They do.
and they're like what people are doing now.
Right,
As
yeah.
opposed to these permanent
What does
wooden
pickleball
structures.
have? Didn't they put one up by themselves?
Yeah.
I was kind of looking at, yeah.
David,
Just so the board understands, some of the CPC board members said it would be a lot cheaper to put picnic tables back there with umbrellas stuck in the middle of them. That's what they were looking at.
But that's
doesn't-
kind of
When
silly.
For kids.
when it comes
Yeah.
down to be cost effective, as opposed to spending $200,000.
How many kids
I-
generally do you
we're
have
not
under
looking to
it?
spend
Don't shoot
200,000.
the messenger.
No, but we're not, that's why and that would put that on your checklist, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you're speaking to the commission.
Yep.
There you go.
That they need to know, we came with this proposal because we were trying to be budget conscious.
Yep.
We could have come in with a $300,000, that's what your original
Pavilion.
structure
Yeah.
with, was over 300 grand.
Yeah,
And we said, that's ridiculous, let's try this route.
I think it was 329.
Yeah, and that was 2 years ago,
Yep.
so,
Yeah. exactly. Well, look at the bathroom.
small house, tiny house.
The house in the square.
Anything else, David, on the
That's it.
CPC end?
Just be prepared.
Van, facilities, please.
Yeah, we had a meeting last week, and this is the 25th anniversary this year, February. 25th anniversary of the community center being built. And there are, Reagan has put together programs for every single day of the month. spaghetti dinners, concerts, games for kids, a pancake breakfast and so on. So every single day is pretty much scheduled out with some unique programs, and hopefully we can attend some of them as a committee. Also, the carpeting is going in, as you can see. Finally, they're cleaning. They started from Eric's end of the building, and they're going to be moving that way, this way. And
What's in all the boxes?
It's the carpet.
carpets.
It
Comes in
comes,
squares.
they're doing it in
Oh, it's not
squares.
rolled out, 'cause
No.
I was like, I thought it was tile.
It's
Oh.
smart too, because they could repair and
One
just replace
section.
one square.
And they're now putting up some new shades in the windows. That's the next project that they're working on.
Nice.
They did a couple of windows just as a sense of what it might look like for beautification purposes and for viability, but that's what's going on. I guess they're very busy down there, doing a lot of stuff for the kids.
I asked for
Good.
shag carpet in my office, but they didn't go.
Orange and
Yeah,
brown.
they didn't go for it.
David?
Was there any acknowledgement at all of Mr. Thayer when he was going around?
I
with
was
his
thinking of
camera
him with his dog.
filming this place as it was built?
Updates
Anybody
every,
think about acknowledging what Ed Man provided for the town?
Yeah.
Moving on.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. Back to the maintenance report.
Yes,
Have you seen the condition of the vents on the doors for the bathroom?
not good.
Back? No, they're starting to.
We're
look-
actually doing a beach tour, me and John and Brian Albee on Thursday. More for signs, make sure we're all on the same page for signage.
Take them down.
But we can take a look at that. No signs at all.
Use your head.
Yeah, I know.
Common sense
Well, that's the
needed.
sad part, is we could put up 1,000 signs.
Exactly, they don't read them anyhow.
But we'll take a look at the vents.
It's this one right here.
Oh, okay, right out
It's
back.
the one out
Oh,
back.
okay.
That's why I drove around the back the other day and I'm like, that looks like the ones at Brooks Park. And you, for those who didn't know, they replaced the doors at Brooks Park bathroom. They used to have the vents and they were all rusty and the kids were kicking them in. They put new doors in with ventilation built into them or whatever, so. Okay.
Eric, there's a product called Iron Out,
Yeah,
and if you spray those outside vents,
wipe it off.
it'll eliminate the rust.
Really?
Iron
I'm
out.
surprised you can't put,
That's the name of it.
fiberglass vents.
Kick those in real easy.
Yeah.
It's iron out bad for the environment though. If John Ketchum may yell at me.
I don't know, so you use that bathroom back there?
All right, that takes care of the reports. We have open session. Anything new to bring up there, Mama?
Yes. Eric,
Yes.
this year's upcoming CPC, the one that we're going to be
Yes.
deciding and stuff on, I would really, really like to jumpstart the idea of the splash pad
Okay.
now, so
Sure.
that when it comes time, way before October, when we submit, we have all of the information and a plan in place to be able to
Yep,
put it on the CPC to say, is this something we want to do?
got it.
If that's okay to
Yep,
start it now, that way
absolutely.
we have plenty of time.
Earlier the better.
Also, I had another question and I forgot, I'm sorry. It was about something you were just talking about, I forget. It's
You know
all
how
right.
to find me.
Yeah, I'll come back to it. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I
Ben?
got.
I've always talked about ice skating, John, remember?
Yeah.
This
This would have been a good year
This
for
would have
it.
been a good year to freeze the courts like
Yep.
we used to do when I was a kid. Freeze the courts, put a little sandbags around and so on and so forth, and freeze the courts down there down in Brooks Park, and have the lights are there, and the kids could have been skating for at least a month and a half right now.
What would we have done last year, swim?
100%.
Yeah,
We've
Huh?
done this
Swim.
exercise.
Last year, we would have been swimming in those
exactly.
courts.
But this year, we had a lot of.
Yeah, this year is an anomaly, but I agree.
We've done this before though, that we've looked into the getting the
average.
boards, and I talked to several towns that bought the boards, and
Brewster.
their advice was don't buy the boards, because
Brewster.
they never ever use them.
They
It
showed
never
a.
stays cold long enough. For it
They
to
showed
freeze.
a picture up at Taunton, I think it was, or
What's that?
Randolph, on TV, and they had built probably 6 to 8 inch form around the
Yep.
skating, and they just put a plastic sheet down, water, the fire department came in, sprayed the water in a couple of inches, and the kids were out there skating, playing hockey and everything else.
But I think, for instance, last winter, there wouldn't have been one opportunity,
No,
you know, and that's what Brewster told us.
Yeah.
They bought the whole kit.
They bought
When
the
you said they
kit.
got it in the garage at the
Yeah,
highway
they
barn.
never used it. It was just never.
It's a great idea, I'd love it.
I love it too.
Could we look at the fake ice, like the fake,
That's,
Rink?
the panels,
yes.
those are super expensive.
Are they?
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
I have a little tiny one for my son to shoot slap shots off.
Do you really?
My driveway, but it's
Because
tiny and it was
that would be
hundreds.
awesome to set one up every winter
I'll get
for the whole
prices
winter
anyway,
and
though.
do like a Friday
In the
skate
futsal
night.
court.
Yeah, so anywhere, just do like Friday
So,
skate night,
yeah,
family
we,
skating, outdoor skating is so much fun.
Where did the futsal court go?
They take it down.
They
Yeah.
take it down, yeah.
one of the, I was gonna ask about
Because
that.
then it
That would have
doesn't
been a
matter for the
perfect
weather,
location
and we can charge
for the skating,
$5, you know,
you know?
get
You
those kids
got
out
the
of
walls high
Orleans
enough.
Friday
The
night.
guys could play hockey. We used to do that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we used to skate at night. Great.
What happens is all that iron out stuff that Dave recommended gets in the atmosphere.
Yeah, right.
I wonder if we're doing a whole rink instead of the small patch. I wonder if the company has like a rink, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, like even if it's small, yeah, super small.
That would
Okay,
be-
I'll see what they got, yeah.
That would be an awesome winter thing to have all winter regardless of the weather.
They're drivable too, you can pull a car right on it.
Yeah.
That's
I've
awesome.
driven over my sons a couple times by
Yeah.
mistake, so.
That's, yeah, I love that.
What else is on your list?
A turf?
Turf,
Turf.
Yes, like a turf field, like a rec accessible turf field.
like the
Like,
football field?
yeah,
Where?
where do you want it?
Are you talking new? Are you talking
Yes.
converting?
Either one,
I think
either
if you were
or,
ever to look into that, the best spot would be
Either-
McPhee Field.
either Astro or water-based.
McPhee would be the one.
Okay.
Do we
It's-
need it? What is director, what do you think?
I think it'd be a great addition to our Arsenal fields to have
100%.
something like that.
You can offer it to so many sports.
Yep.
What,
It makes it even more
what is
multi-purpose.
what?
Yep.
Field turf, it's called.
Yeah,
with the
field
little-
turf.
yeah.
You can do they're starting to move away from the
The
pellets.
pebbles,
They're
yeah,
moving
yeah.
away
They're
from it
little, like,
because
wood chips now,
it's a
so
little
I don't know.
iffy.
Oh, I know, I've been on those fields.
But the water-based ones,
expensive.
it's like sand and then almost like a water bed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so
yeah.
those ones are actually more cost-effective than the pebble ones.
Are you gonna bring that on your project?
It's-
thing
yeah,
for
yep.
Next month?
I'll
Okay.
Yep.
second it on my,
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
my list too.
Yeah,
Second, the splash pad too.
The splash pad, the biggest thing with the splash pad is gonna be
I know.
location. Is it going, is he pursuing across the street? Are we
oh,
going,
that's, yeah.
you know, we were going a lot
I feel like
quicker
we
down
could
this
win this
road.
race.
The AstroTurf, it'd be interesting to find out, we need a new irrigation.
Out back.
Oh,
Irrigation's gonna cost us, I'll bet you 250, 300
yeah.
grand, 300 grand.
CPC can't fund turf,
Why not?
like,
it's against the regulations.
That's
There are multiple lawsuits, so they don't allow it.
Really?
Just to give you a heads up.
Well, it could be. a
Talk
custom
about make
project.
no sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay, whoa, you started the meeting off by saying it made no sense, I'm just
Have
coming
you
back
guys
with my
funded,
own.
have you funded turf
No.
before? Oh,
Is it safety, you said? Or-
No,
Other towns have tried, is what he's
this is,
saying.
this is from the legislature. There was a bunch of battles because they funded a couple of towns off Cape. People get angry about it, didn't want to spend the money on it, they took it to court, and the taxpayers won. So CPC cannot fund, it's right in the legislation.
Any
Anything
type of
with-
turf?
Any type of turf.
If you didn't want it, vote it no,
Yeah.
would be the common sense, but then we don't talk that way.
Don't know enough about it.
No, but you know, it's interesting, we'll allow you to level it, put the loom down, put the seed down, fertilize it, water it, and all of that other stuff. Yet, and I told you, I saw that one in the north end, that was in the minutes from one of the meetings. I saw that one in the north end down by the Coast Guard station.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The they turf the entire field.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they draw
yeah,
Different
the
colors.
pitcher's
Yeah.
mound, the batter's box, it's the
gorgeous.
best looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And it
you
seems
can
like it'd be
have,
right up the alley of CPC because there's no maintenance involved.
no,
Yeah.
it's
The long-term
gorgeous.
cost has gotta be lower.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Time.
That's gotta
Nobody
be
mowing.
No.
Yeah,
Nope.
No
Like, up
seeds,
front, it's a
no
lot.
aeration.
Patrick would like it.
You
We've
folks can
been-
go right online and read it.
We've
We're not,
been-
we're not
I
doubting
believe
you.
It's all there.
Yeah, I believe you.
I've been
It's just
on
unfortunate.
turfs where they have the soccer lines drawn out, the field hockey
Oh,
lines
yeah.
drawn
Yeah.
out, the baseball
It's like the
pitches.
gym
It's like
with the different
every
lines.
single line you could think of is on there, different color, and they just tell you played a blue, you played a black, you played a red.
Yeah.
Which is good for back impact.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah.
Oh, so much for that idea.
Wait, no.
No, I meant
Well,
using
still
this,
be-
using the,
well, we decided that the project list isn't gonna be just CPC.
no,
You know,
I'm just
capital
saying,
plan
I
is
meant the
actually-
idea of using irrigation money and
Oh,
doing the whole
yeah, yeah, yeah,
darn
yeah.
thing over.
Yeah.
I will second a bubble.
Sports bubble.
I will
Oh
second a
my
sports
good
bubble.
lord.
Let's bubble.
Do you know how much? But okay, but if we talk about club revenue for soccer, indoor softball, and
Baseball.
yeah,
Oh,
indoor
yeah.
baseball, field hockey. I mean, that club revenue would be astronomical if we could offer a Cape Cod place to hold a tournament.
Oh, man, it'd be huge.
We have the hotels, we have the restaurants.
We need to
have
discuss,
the-
we need to discuss this as part of our February.
Okay.
We are
Yeah,
way,
I like it though.
excited.
It's
it's
Right.
interesting.
We just don't have the bubble yet. Our yet.
We have to prioritize these.
John,
There's some good ideas, yes.
have you given your report to the select board for the annual report that you give?
For the book, you mean?
No.
No, they
Don't you
haven't
give
asked.
it?
They haven't requested.
We usually do one like after the summer,
Oh, God, it's in the fall.
fall, yeah.
I thought I thought you, the chair, and you.
They haven't requested anything.
Really?
No.
Haven't requested CPC either, so.
How about the warrant? Is there the information for the warrant been put together?
They're working on it.
Oh, your
You should
department?
put your statement together.
You mean the
already.
warrant, like the town meeting articles?
Yeah.
Warrant?
No.
Administration's working.
No, the recreation department's
Statement.
statement.
You already did that.
For the book.
For the book.
Yeah, I
for
did
the,
that
For
already.
the,
I already did it.
It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And you did one as chair?
Chair
Well,
doesn't do it, it's
I
done
do
by
it.
the department.
Yeah.
He does it all?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's done.
Yeah.
That was done in November.
Yeah.
You
It was,
have to
it was
do
due
Your chair of
a couple weeks
facilities.
ago, but.
And I'm not chair of facilities.
Or whoever the chair of facilities is.
Angela is.
Okay, David, anything?
All set?
Brian?
How's that?
I'm just excited for next month.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Motion.
To adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Listen, it's been too many
It's
meetings.
all right, Madam Vice Chair, we'll give you a pass.
I called in November, so there was no meeting December.
That's
I
right,
gotta,
it's all good.
I gotta get back in on this.